Hey, what is going on, you guys? Welcome to CCxRC, and I am in hog heaven right now. I am doing super good because of this Vanquish VS4-10 Phoenix sitting in front of me right now. I was asked to do a review on it, and I was hesitant at first until he said three beautiful letters that came in sequence, and those were RTR. Right there. Makes it quite possibly the best thing that Vanquish has ever made, in my opinion. I think Josh would want me to point out that in this RTR, they still included full ball bearings. Let's do this. First off, the package art on this is very, very well done. Very great graphics overall, details. Lots of information right on the box, but you see Vanquish products logo here, straight axle version of this. Great shot of the truck. We'll swing around to the side. We'll see here the kind of look of it. Looks really good. You're going to get a 4-channel transmitter with this one. Their Vanquish VE1 waterproof brushed speed control, can handle 2 to 3S LiPo, and it can also do NIM batteries. 35 turn brushed motor here, and then you're going to get their Metal Gear Servo VS1. We'll see all this in the box as well, or in the truck, but just giving you just a quick look around the box because it really is sharp. You can see here the other side, and we're seeing these new Falcon Wild Peak MT tires that they've got here. These are in the red compound. KMC hex beadlock wheels. This is the KM233 KMCs, and we'll see a little bit of the layout build here, and optional rock light spots and mounting points in here. Pretty cool. They're S8E shock absorbers. These are pretty decent shocks, I find, out of the box. So we built these, and we actually ran these when we did the monthly mayhem, and I had something to say about the Eclipse, so I don't have to deal with Eclipse on this one. So good times on that one. And you get the VFD twin transmission with optional servos. You can use all of the different features of this thing, which is going to be there. It's going to be detailed right here on the side. So we'll take a look at it from here. 3-position dig mechanism, chromoly slide digs, and their overdrive mechanism. So if you get the optional servos that can go here and here, and they've got the shifting arms already installed, ready to go, you can use those features for it as well. So you can see here, chromoly still, metal gears in there. You're seeing all the bearings right here. I just laugh at something that Josh and I joke about, when we defend bushings a little bit, and he's all for ball bearings in all cases. He's all about performance, and that's definitely what bearings are going to give you. They come installed. Chromoly universal shafts up front, and then you've got the chromoly shafts in the rear. So lots of awesome stainless steel links. Cool stuff. We'll see it when we get in there, but they've got it all detailed on the box for you. You see the insides, which you don't have to because we're not building it, where normally you'd see all this stuff when you're doing the build. Don't need to. Don't have to take it apart. All of this is done unless you want to get in there and change out some things. Overdrive, but they've got that here, so you don't need to overdrive your axles. But if you wanted to change the metal ones or whatever, they sell so many cool upgrades that you can go, hog wild with a build on a Vanquish. So I did do a build on the VS4-10 Pro, so I do have experience building some of their stuff and running their stuff, like I've said, and just quality products through and throughout. One of the awesome things about this is the price point on it at $479 at the making time of this video. That's what it's listed for. You've got spiral cut diff gears, again, seeing all the bearings, axle pieces in here, all of it kind of just shown here on the side, molded in their fenders, which just helps with the scale look when you're getting shots of it and everything. You can see the transmission laid out there, the spots where your servos can go with the arm already sticking out there. So let's go ahead and take this out of the box. I wanted to do a full unboxing for you guys because Well, I've never had a ready-to-run Vanquish, and so I was curious what that might look like. And maybe you are too, so let's do this. Nice. Oh, there we're seeing the Wild Peaks. These are grippy. I'm liking that kind of red-orange color to it. Looks like fire to me. Definitely a very nice color. Manual, you get AA batteries. We'll need to supply. Look at that, tucked in the back of it. Our radio is strapped in for the ride. We're gonna have to go in and cut this out of here. I like that they just left it a cage on the rear. I think it looks super cool that way. All right, let's look at this radio just right quick while we have it here. Oh, that felt very satisfying to remove. 4-channel, you've got steering trims, throttle trims. You got your 4-channel button here, on-off switch. And you're gonna have a little bit of controls, it looks like in here. We'll get in there and take a look at it. You can one-handed drive this. It's a little bit of a stretch, but either putting just a bigger foam piece on there or just something on it. But overall, like I would drive this one-handed all day long because I can reach it. So I like that. Nice. I mean, it's definitely a different looking. It runs kind of like that. Some of the ones we do for the minis with the way the batteries and all that go in there, but it's like a blown up bigger version, like the big boy version. So pretty cool. And it makes it easy to break down because these are hard to carry, but this makes it a whole lot more convenient for putting in a bag or whatever. A little less bulky when you break it down like that, and it won't accidentally turn on, which is super nice. So you don't have to take a battery out, you just remove the actual battery holder. All right, so what's underneath here? There's just stuff sticking everywhere. All right, some more manuals for things. Here's the instruction manual for our transmitter. This will definitely be something that we're gonna have to look over. Yeah, different model selects, expo, trim, endpoint adjustments, all of that. So this thing definitely has a lot of features, it looks like, for a ready-to-run radio. I mean, if you guys look at that, you go into the models here and your reverses, throttle reverse, reverse for your 3rd channel, 4th channel, endpoint for your steering, your throttle, and then for your other channels. Because if you do want to set up the other digs and stuff, you have that option, and you can actually program it in here, which is pretty cool. Again, expo for steering, forward, brake. Then you got your trims. Pretty cool, dual rates. Man, that's pretty slick. Here's something I didn't mention that was on the box as well. All the different people that they work with and the parts that you see on it. KMC wheels, Rigid, Incision, Knight Customs, Scale Builders Guilds, and Falcon. Pretty cool. Spare parts bag. There's tons of stuff in here. Extra drive shaft pieces, steering wheel, some other different cool stuff in there. If you want to scale out your truck a little, more drive shaft pieces, pillow balls. There's actual screws and rod ends and all kinds of stuff in there. That's pretty cool. Definitely. What's this, a transmission piece right here? That's interesting. All right, now the moment that I've been waiting for, and maybe all of you have been waiting for. This, whatever they use, this is a really thick protectant on here. I mean, that's not just the little flimsy paper. This is like rubbery. It's pretty nice. All right, so we gotta flip this around. We can see the suspension, pretty decent. articulation out of the box from this. Get a full fist under there. I don't do any like super scientific testing with, you know, measurements, you know, but if I were hitting a pretty big rock, that's pretty good flex in my opinion, especially if you're flexing out the other way. Actually, the center of gravity on it is also pretty good for like side hilling. The point at which the breakover angle, that's pretty decent. So, and we don't have a battery in there, but it gives us a little idea stock what we're dealing with, because that's all going to change based on what people run. So we're going to open this up, take a look under the hood, and there's a couple ways you can do it. Pull these two body clips in the rear, and this whole thing hinges forward. I love that, right? So that's pretty cool, but if you want to take the whole thing apart, there's just one up front that you pull here, and then you slide they've got a bar that runs through it. You'll see that as soon as I pull it out, but there's one pin, and then you push it through, and you get this bar that pulls out like that, and now the whole body comes off. So this is all attached on here really well, nicely done. Nice paint on it. Alrighty, so here it is, you guys, out of the box, body's off, and you can see the tires. Look at that. They just feel really good. There's a little bulge in the front. The foam feels nice and firm but soft. It's almost like a memory foam kind of a feel, like that you might feel in a mattress or something. I definitely dig the feel of these foams. I don't know what they've got in there. I just know that I like that it's soft, but it does have some resistance to it. As you can see, it's definitely would be gripping on things because it's kind of folding over the rock, or my finger in this case. In the rear, not so much. I don't know if they have a stiffer foam, but it definitely doesn't look as much. There's a lot more weight up front. That's part of it. Even if you add a battery to the rear, I guess I add a little bulge, but still not quite the same amount. But these definitely look promising for a ready-to-run tire. I can't wait to get them out and try them. It's a nice knob to them. And again, they're really grippy tire, kind of soft. And yeah, I feel like they'll grip good. While we're up here, you can see those steel universals up front. That's pretty cool. Stainless steel steering links up here going up to the servo that is chassis mounted up there. You got your panhard bar. Panhard bar goes to a metal panhard mount, which is fantastic, onto their C-channel chassis frame rails here. You got this faux radiator up front, kind of holds the visuals from being, you know, completely seeing everything from the front, as well as these nice inner fenders that they've got here, wheel wells. Don't have them in the rear because you've got a cage, you don't need them. Going through the inside here, you'll see the VFD transmission, front and center, looking super good. You got your ESC up top, right up in here, and that is the VE1 ESC. And they do have something just to point out. It is set to LiPo mode, which is good. So if you have LiPo batteries, they've got a little diagram here showing you how to do it, but make sure you have it on that setting. Should come that way out of the box. The VR1 receiver has two openings, so you can plug in your extra servos if you want to do their dig and overdrive switchable features that this actually comes with already installed. All the gearing we looked at in the box, super nice. You'd mount up your servo here for dig, making sure that the top of it's over here, and make the links include that are included, put it here. And then you've got your overdrive down there, servo would mount here, and you do the run to that. They've got it all diagrammed in their manual as we've showed. Battery tray, nice Velcro straps for it. And I've already mounted one in here just to do a quick test on it. It's running a XT60 plug, very standard plug. The Metal Gear servo is up front, and there's another opening for another servo. This thing could be servoed out if you wanted, and you could do a winch up there. They've even got the fair lead opening up front, which is nice. On the bottom, quick look at the bottom, stainless steel links, 4-link in the rear, then the 3-link panhard up in the front. Skid plate here is all plastic, which I think is good. It's flat, so you're not necessarily going to catch stuff on the front of it, and then it slopes off on the back of it. But yeah, pretty flat where you actually are going to make contact with it. And the axles look pretty stout to me. And we were looking up here, all these plastics look really good to me, nice and thick. Plastics up there for your knuckles. Going around here, you can see the shocks better from the back. These are their aluminum shocks. The preload is set all the way to the top. Lots of articulation from this thing, as we saw. Rear axle strengthening braces on the tops and on the back here. So really well braced. And bead lock wheels. So they're just a simple bead lock, which is nice. Not very many screws to get it apart. I dig it. So definitely looks really good out of the box. You do have the spots where you can put some rock lights in here. You can also, it's pre-set if you wanted to add lights here. They've already got stuff ready for you to receive them. In the front here, looks pretty cool. And the other nice thing is, because this is clear right here up in the front, that radiator definitely benefits that front look because it blacks out behind it, which is nice. All right, so I think one of the other things I wanted to show you, and we get to show one of the cool Vanquish tools as well, right here is, this is their tool. It's got a bearing in it as well. Super smooth to use, one-handed. Right here, this is super trick. Now, they've got their selectable overdrive, right? It comes set to 6.5% overdrive, and you have 43% as well, selectable. So you can do it with a servo and select it, or if you know that you're just going to comp all the time and you just want that high 43% overdrive all the time, you can go in and you could just move this. There's a set screw here and a set screw here. You just make sure they're both up. This one you can't see as well, but it's in there. It's actually holding it down currently. And just by removing this, and you're going to remove these as well or back them off if you're going to use the servo as well. But now we have a movable arm. Before, like this upper one is locked in place. If I push on it, it's not going anywhere. It's being held by this little set screw. And there's another set screw that's right over on the other side. So there's two. One, and then the one right above it. And that's what's holding it in place. So this one, now that I've released it from here and I'm moving it over to 43%, I just would want to hold it down using this set screw. So we're just going to tighten that down. Like so. And now that is being held in place. So even if I put this wrench in here and pull, it's not moving. So now we are set to 43% overdrive. You don't want to trail with it like that, because you're basically fighting yourself. It's going to give you better steering, tighter steering if you're comp crawling, better pull up hills, different things like that. But if you're on a trail with that front end moving that much faster than the rear end, it's kind of fighting itself. You'll probably burn up your motor. It'll run really hot. And so not really recommended for that. You'll probably want to leave it in the 6.5%, which is pretty easy to change if you're going to be doing different things based on what your day is planned. If you're going to go trailing, make sure you definitely got it over here for those long drives at speed. So now we're locked in. That's a pretty cool feature right there out of the box. And we'll put a battery in it and just give it a quick test, and then set our endpoints and all that. So let's get to that. We're going to just quickly give it a little bit of power here. Just strap the battery in and take a quick look at it on the bench here. Make sure everything's functional as we need it to be. Steering, all that, and just see the radio in action too. So I'm using a EC3 or IC3 into this XT60. Don't recommend doing this at home, but you can make it work if you have to. So We're going to go ahead and turn on our radio as well, which is already on, which is good. So steering, throttle, and it's okay. The nice thing about this radio is we can actually go in here and we can do a little bit of programming with it. So we're going to select and choose through the different settings. Actually, I didn't want to do these. So this is the first level. So we're going to go back through to reverse, no, endpoint, steering. So we're going to go into this one, select it, that's throttle. We're already on steering. So we're going to choose left, or it's saying left, so it must be reversed. That's right, but either way, we're going to add extra. So we're getting quite a bit more steering out of this right away. And we're going to go until it stops moving those tires, or it starts to rub on things. Look at that steering we're getting, holy moly. All right, so there I'm seeing things move. So we're going to back it off. Because I think we might be hitting our link. I'm going to go the other way, turning our wheel to the left now, hitting increase on the EPA ST, that's our steering. You can hold the button in and it'll go faster. Man, we had a lot more steering thrill. That's going to be nice. Look at that. Servo's a little slow, but it's a ready to run servo. That's what we always say about ready to runs. At least we got metal gears in there. And see if it's definitely got some torque though. So just pushing against my hand here, I'm going to push in on it hard. It'll still turn. Even if it's bound up when you're putting weight down on it. So that's good. There's some torque to it. Look at that steering though. That's way more than we had out of the box. It was at 60%. Now we're at like 100 some. So the other thing we can do is we can keep hitting select, and that's going to go through the different ones. Now we're on ABS throttle, and I don't know what that is. We got expo steering. If you hit channel, it'll go through those expos. So that's forward, brake, expo, steering, and we want to do forward throttle. We're just going to give it some expo to smooth it out and see how that does. Oh, now we got some slow crawling. We're going to try for brake too, because I don't like a jumpy reverse, and see if that'll actually change that. So we're going to go through again. Oh, we went past EPA. So steering, throttle, EPA. No, we don't want EPA. We wanted expo. We're going to try for brake. If we turn that up, you do it for our forward a little more too. There we go. That's a little better. We're not getting that instant power in reverse till we really pull on it. So we're going to do a little bit more of our forward expo even, I think. Because I don't need it to go crazy power until... And that's something that you just fine-tune to liking. I like to slow crawl things, and so I want to have some of that down low, just slow tunability in there. So using the expo in that low range can just help with that. So just fine-tuning it to your liking. I may have too much, but we're going to leave it for now. I think we're ready to go. I'm not going to do any changes from what they have set from the factory. So I think we've mentioned most things. The suspension feels decent, not super bouncy, not a bad starting point. I'm pretty happy with it as it is. And pretty cool kit. Ready to run. What you get as far as features. So I'm stoked. We're gonna get it out and we're gonna run it. It's really snowy here right now, so I'm gonna have to sneak this into a course and hope that nobody notices it, because it just looks like maybe I just painted up my my monthly mayhem build, and we'll get away with it that way. I think we'll see. It's pretty cool though. What you are witnessing here was me sneaking the VS4-10 ready to run Phoenix into Reaction RC under the radar and just running it. Now I did wait till it was kind of like after hours-ish, you know, not many people were still around hanging out, and so I was able to just kind of bring it in. I brought some other stuff to run, so I was just making videos while I was there, and so it didn't seem out of the ordinary. There you can see the body panel got pushed in on something, on a rock, and I didn't realize it. But this, as you'll see right here, out of the box, some of the stuff that this was doing, for a ready to run, it is the best handling ready to run crawler that I have driven, like hands down. So it's a little bit for me to get used to. I've converted almost everything now over to brushless, so it throttle, kind of figuring that out, the smoothness of it. There's times where I'd get kind of stoppy, like right here. But overall, I mean, the power delivery and even the tires, for a stock ready to run tire, I mean, they were hooking up for me and, you know, just getting grip. It's a bit sandy because they've been working on it there. And so it's a little bit tore up, especially on the first side where I started. And it had no problem going where I wanted it to go. I think I maybe rolled it in the time that I was there running it twice off of things. It just kind of hooked up the turning. I was getting insane turning, and as you know, and I didn't even have it in the full overdrive that I could go to, which would give me even more pull on the steering, as well as pulling up some of these hills. But very, very impressed with this out of the box. It's definitely a runner. You can get this, you can put a battery in it, and you can go out and you can make some lines. And that was very, very impressive to me. So definite thumbs up on this one, guys. The radio is very good as well in the hand, and lots of features as you saw before. So they've kind of put together a pretty cool package, and it was really fun to get up here. I don't typically do the 10 scale stuff up here that often, because my rigs haven't been really performing, and this thing just made it so much fun being able to tackle the course, because it could handle it with pretty decent ease. There weren't gates up or anything, so I kind of could work my way into a line like there, but still just being able to see the line and get to it with the truck and you know, kind of conquer stuff was really, really fun. So anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys. I hope that you find this informative and you watch this thing just walking around there. So impressive. Have fun RCing. Get out there and hit some trails, and we'll catch you guys next time.